So, welcome to my corner. Today it is 9/11, as you guys did not know. So, this is a true story actually. If you don't know nothing about 9/11, and then this video is actually for smaller children, like older children who don't know half of the things about the sadness occurred to 9/11. So, let me just go ahead and start. This was before the attack. Something everyone remembers about the day is the sky. There was not a cloud in sight, not light blue, and it was not crystal clear. Everyone knows, it's supposed to be crystal clear. You're supposed to see clouds every day as you wake up on Sunday morning. On September the 11th, 2001, a terrorist attacked the United States. They hijacked 4 airplanes in mid-flight. The terrorists flew 2 of the planes into 2 skyscrapers at the World Trade Center in New York City. The impact caused the buildings to catch fire and collapse. Another plane destroyed the part of the Pentagon in Allentown, Virginia. The 4th plane crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. The officials believed that the terrorists on the plane intended to destroy either the White House or the U.S. Capitol. Passengers on the plane fought for the terrorists and prevented them from reaching their goal. In all, nearly 3,000 people were killed in the 9/11 attacks. American Airlines in Flight 11, a 767, the plane made daily flights between Boston and Los Angeles. it looked When it took off at 7:59 a.m. on the morning of the 11th, it carried only 81 passengers in its 158 seats. The United flight was 175, also 767 was the second, scheduled to fly between Logan and Lax. It took off at 8:14 a.m. It was even lighter than the American flight, only 56 out of 168 seats were occupied. American Airlines Flight 77, third plane to take off that day, a 757, left Washington, D.C. at 8:20 a.m., bound for Los Angeles. It was a two-thirds empty with the 58 passengers in its 176 seats, and its tanks were 4,000 gallons under its 11,500 gallon capacity. United Airlines Flight 97 was the 757. It was delayed for 42 minutes past its schedule in 8 a.m. departure from Newark bound for San Francisco. When it finally took off, it only carried 37 passengers. Its capacity was 182, and it was loaded with only a little over 7,000 gallons of fuel. The people of America banded together in the weeks following September 11 attacks, like a few other times in American history. People responded with donations of blood, effort, and money. The government declared Osama bin Laden to be the main suspect and sent to the military to fight him. His terrorist organization called Al-Qaeda. The military has been able to capture the numerous leaders within the terrorist organization, but it has not been able to capture bin Laden himself. A controversy started when George W. Bush sent the troops into Iraq on March 19, 2003, claiming that the country led by Saddam Hussein was developing weapons of a mass destruction and adding Al-Qaeda on Peru. As the time passed and there were no evidence of those weapons that were found in Iraq, many in America were upset by what they had felt unnecessary reasons to get involved with Iraq. Flight 11, flight attendant called the American Airlines Flight Services Michael Ward starting at 8:21 and talked to for 25 minutes straight until the plane crashed. Whitney related such many details as wounds of victims for the hijackers to set seat numbers of hijackers. Betty Ong's phone. The flight attendant Betty Ong called Vanessa Minter at the American Airlines at 8:21 a.m. until the plane is crashed. Peter called his father and reported the details about the hijacking starting at 8:52. Hansen made several calls, but he was cut off several times. Brian Sweeting's phone. Brian Sweetney attempted to call his wife, but he could only leave a message. Flight attendant May used cell phone calls to her mother on 9/12. May's mother then called the airlines to inform that the flight has been hijacked. Barbara Olson's calls placed 2 calls to her husband. He only left evidence that these calls statements by Olson. The first on September 12th. The National September the 11th was a memorial tribute to the remembrance in the honor of nearly 3,000 people, 3,100 people killed in the terror attacks of September 11, 2001. At the World Trade Center site near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the Pentagon, as well as the 6 killed in the World Trade Center bombing in February 1993. In 7:59 a.m., all planes will begin to take off. 9:03 a.m., the second crash, Flight South Tower. 8:56 a.m., first crash, Flight 11, Northern Tower. 9:05 a.m., George W. Bush has been told about the attack. 9:31 a.m., Bush makes a public announcement. 9:36 a.m., Vice President gets moved to safety. 9:37 a.m., Flight 77 crashes into the Pentagon. 9:45 a.m., White House and U.S. Capitol are cleared. 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses. At 10:03 a.m., the 4th plane crashes in Pennsylvania. At 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapses. At 1:04 p.m., the air is cleared. At 5:20 p.m., the World Trade Center collapses. And then at 8:30 p.m., Bush gives out the final address of the day. On September 11, 2001, 19 men hijacked the 4 fuel-loaded commercial airlines bound for the West Coast destination. These terrorist attacks on the United States orchestrated by Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden. The total of 2,977 are killed in New York City, Washington, D.C., and outside of Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and the worst terrorist attack in U.S. history. On the given workday, up to 5,000 people worked at the WTC Twin Towers, and the additional 40,000 passed through their complex. 9/11 was the single largest loss of life from the foreign attacks on American soil. And 18 people were rescued alive from the rubble of the World Trade Center site. You can be sure to say that the American spirit will prevail over this tragedy. I'm clinging on one last thought. Pain is being harbored or you hope. You be allowed to feel the pain. You are alive, then you have purpose. You have purpose, and then you have hope. New York City is the largest based on the great skyscrapers, and that there will be an essence of New York. That won't be a change, just in this case of people who live there will not be altered by this tragedy. So many lives were lost in 9/11, and so many lives were no longer alive. A million paramedics, firefighters, policemen, and NYPDs, and lots of citizens were lost because of Al Qaeda and the terrorists that have been hijacked the Twin Towers. Osama bin Laden later found dead. So it took years to repair the Twin Towers since 9/11 is finally over. Thank you guys for watching. I'm Jada, and it is amazing to serve this country.